Why does society often view mental health as a sign of weakness, especially among African American men? That's the question we find ourselves grappling with today. In our society, there exists a prevailing stigma about mental health, especially within the African American community. This stigma is like a shadow, constantly looming over those who are struggling, making it difficult for them to seek the help they need. Societal pressures and misconceptions are often the culprits. Words like weak, unstable, or unmanly get thrown around, creating a false narrative that seeking help is somehow a sign of failure. But the reality is different. Mental health issues are not a sign of weakness, but a part of our human experience. They can affect anyone regardless of their race, age, or gender. Yet, many African American men find themselves caught in this web of stigma, deterred from seeking professional therapy. It's time to change this narrative and take a step towards acceptance and healing. Meet James, an African American man living a seemingly perfect life, but beneath the surface, he's fighting a silent battle. James, like many of us, had dreams, aspirations, and a zest for life. He had a loving family, a successful career, and a circle of friends that admired him. But beneath this polished exterior, there was a storm brewing that no one could see. James was grappling with mental health issues, a struggle that was invisible to the world outside but was slowly consuming him from within. He was battling anxiety and depression, waking up each day feeling like he was wading through a fog of worry and despair. It felt as if he was trapped in a whirlpool, constantly sucked into a vortex of negative thoughts, and no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't seem to escape it. But James couldn't let anyone know about his struggles. He was afraid of judgment, of being labeled as weak. He feared the stigma attached to mental health issues, especially as an African American man. Society had conditioned him to believe that men, especially black men, had to be strong, unyielding, and invincible. He felt he had to wear a mask of strength and stoicism even when he was crumbling inside. This fear of judgment and the burden of societal expectations only intensified his mental health struggles. He felt isolated, misunderstood, and trapped in a cycle of despair. He was sinking deeper and deeper into this emotional abyss, and he felt powerless to stop it. But James' story is not unique. It's a reflection of what many African American men go through. Their struggles with mental health issues often go unnoticed and untreated due to societal stereotypes and the fear of judgment. Many of them, like James, suffer in silence, putting on a brave face while they battle their demons in the shadows. James's struggle is a poignant reminder that mental health issues do not discriminate. They can affect anyone, regardless of their race, gender, or socioeconomic status. And it's high time we shatter the stigma around mental health, especially within the African American community. It's time we acknowledge that it's okay to not be okay, and it's okay to seek help. It's time we tell men like James that they don't have to fight their battles alone. Despite the fear and stigma, James found the courage to seek help. What sparked this change? There was a pivotal moment in James's life that finally led him to professional therapy. It was just another ordinary day, but as he sat in silence, he began to realize the weight of his struggles. They pressed on his chest like a heavy stone, making it difficult to breathe, to think, to live. James had always been a strong man, a tower of strength for his family and friends. He was the one to solve problems, to comfort others, to carry the burdens. But that day, he sat alone, wrestling with his own demons. It was a profound moment of vulnerability, a realization that he too was human, that he too had limitations, that he too was hurting. The societal pressures that had once held him back began to crumble. He understood that it was not a sign of weakness to seek help, but rather a sign of strength, to acknowledge his pain, to face it head on, to say out loud, "I am not okay and I need help," took an immense amount of courage. This was his turning point. It was a moment of acceptance, a moment of surrender. He realized that he had been in a battle with himself, and it was time to lay down his weapons. It was time to stop fighting alone. It was time to seek help. He decided to break the chains of societal expectations and bravely step into a therapist's office. It was a daunting decision, but he knew it was the right one. He knew that he was not alone, that there were professionals out there who could guide him, who could help him navigate through his pain. This was James's pivotal moment, the moment that led him to professional therapy. It was a testament to the importance of acknowledging one's struggles and seeking help, despite societal pressures. It was a testament to the power of vulnerability, of acceptance, of courage. The journey to healing begins with a single step, and for James, it was acknowledging his pain. With professional therapy, James began his journey towards healing. But was it easy? Let's delve into his experiences. The therapy room was a foreign territory for James, a space where he felt vulnerable and exposed. His first sessions were filled with a mix of hesitation and nervousness as he attempted to navigate through the uncharted waters of his own emotions. He grappled with the task of articulating his feelings, an exercise that was new and somewhat daunting. But James was determined. He reminded himself why he was there: to heal, to grow, and to reclaim control over his own mental health. Yes, there were challenges. There were moments of doubt and fear, moments when he questioned whether he was making any progress at all, but he held on, and slowly change began to unfold. The therapy room started to feel less like an interrogation chamber and more like a sanctuary. James found himself looking forward to his sessions, valuing the space it provided for self-reflection and understanding. He started to make connections, to understand the root of his emotions, to identify patterns that had previously been invisible to him. His therapist was a guiding light, helping him navigate through the maze of his thoughts. They didn't offer quick fixes, but they did provide James with a set of tools that he could use to manage his emotions, to cope with stress, to build resilience. Tools that he could carry with him outside of the therapy room. And with each passing day, James grew stronger. He started to see himself not as a victim, but as a survivor. He realized that seeking help didn't make him weak, but rather it was a testament to his strength and courage. It was a sign of his commitment to his own well-being, his own healing. Therapy didn't make James's problems disappear overnight, but it gave him the tools to deal with them. It set him on a path towards healing, a journey that he continues to navigate one step at a time. James' story inspires us all to break the stigma surrounding mental health. But how can we do this? Well, let's start with education. It's vital to understand that mental health issues are just as real as physical ones. They're not a sign of weakness, and they're not something to be ashamed of. They're simply a part of the human experience, affecting millions of people worldwide. So, let's educate ourselves and others about the realities of mental health. Let's debunk the myths and misconceptions that cause fear and misunderstanding. Next, we have to encourage open conversations. It's time to talk about mental health the same way we talk about a broken arm or a bad cold. It's time to share our stories, like James did, and listen to the stories of others. It's time to create safe spaces where people can express their feelings without fear of judgment or ridicule. Remember, it's okay to not be okay. And it's more than okay to talk about it. Self-acceptance is another crucial step. We need to accept that it's okay to seek help. It's okay to admit that we're struggling. It's okay to take care of our mental health, just like we take care of our physical health. So let's embrace ourselves with all our strengths and all our struggles. Let's be kind to ourselves and to others. But perhaps the most important step is to cultivate a supportive community. We need to stand by each other, to lift each other up, to remind each other that we're not alone. We need a community that understands, that empathizes, that accepts. A community that breaks the stigma and replaces it with compassion and understanding. So let's be that community. Let's be the friends, the family, the neighbors who offer a listening ear, a helping hand, a shoulder to lean on. Let's be the ones who say, I'm here for you, you're not alone, and it's okay to seek help. Breaking the stigma starts with us. It starts with understanding, empathy, and acceptance. James's journey teaches us several valuable lessons. What are they? Let's recap. Firstly, we've learned that acknowledging our struggles is not a sign of defeat, but a step towards victory. It's okay to admit that we're not okay. In fact, it's more than okay. It's necessary. Secondly, we've seen the immense value of professional therapy. It's not just a chat with a friend. It's a structured process guided by a trained individual who knows how to navigate the labyrinth of the human mind. It's a journey of self-discovery and healing. Lastly, we've recognized the urgency to shatter the chains of stigma around mental health, especially in the African American community. It's time we support each other in our struggles instead of shaming or silencing those who are courageous enough to share their battles. Remember, seeking help is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. And it's okay to ask for help when you need it.